Ever wondered who really owns your favorite American brands? Spoiler, it might not be who you think. Like, seriously, have you looked at the tag on your shirt lately? Bangladesh? Okay, fair enough. But what about that juicy burger you had for lunch? Or the blockbuster movie you saw last night? Today, we're diving into some surprising US companies that are actually owned by China, and what that means for you. We're talking about the good, the bad, and the wait. That's actually owned by them? Get ready for some economic tea, geopolitical drama, and maybe even a few laughs along the way. Because in a world of globalized capitalism, sometimes the lines get a little blurry. All right, let's talk pork. Specifically, Smithfield Foods, the biggest hog and pork producer on the planet. Yeah, you heard me right, planet. These guys are the Beyonce of bacon, the Drake of deli meats. And guess what? They're owned by WH Group, a Chinese company. Now, before you start seeing red, and no, not the kind from your BBQ sauce, hear me out. This acquisition brought in a ton of investment to Smithfield, securing jobs and potentially even lowering pork prices. I mean, who doesn't love a good bargain on bacon? It's like the universe is telling us to chill out and share a BLT. So the next time you're grilling up some hot dogs, remember, that's the sizzle of international cooperation you're hearing. Bacon, it's not just a breakfast food, it's a global peace ambassador. Let's be real. Who doesn't love a good movie night? The smell of popcorn, the anticipation of a new release, and the soul-crushing realization that you just dropped $20 on a bucket of buttery kernels. But hey, at least those overpriced snacks are keeping the lights on at AMC Theatres, right? Well, not just AMC. We're talking about the entire company. Turns out, the biggest movie theater chain in the US is owned by China's Wanda Group. But before you start drafting your strongly worded letter to Netflix, remember, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Think about it. Wanda's investment means more theaters, better screens, and maybe even a wider selection of movies. Who knows, maybe we'll finally get that 3-hour director's cut of Fast and Furious 9 we've all been secretly craving. And hey, if the trade-off for cinematic bliss is a slightly higher price on Junior Mints, well, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Maybe. Remember GE Appliances? The good old American brand that's been a staple in our kitchens for decades? Yeah, well, turns out even our refrigerators are in on the globalization game. That's right. GE Appliances is now owned by Haier, a Chinese company. But before you start panicking that your microwave is going to start spying on you for the Communist Party, let's look at the bright side. This acquisition has actually been great for innovation, bringing us cutting-edge tech and sleek designs at, somewhat affordable prices. Your grandma's old GE fridge could only dream of having Wi-Fi connectivity and a touchscreen. So yeah, your fridge might technically have dual citizenship now, but at least it's keeping your drinks cold and your leftovers fresh. Plus, just think of the bragging rights. Oh, this old thing? Yeah, it's a Chinese-American masterpiece. Buckle up, cinephiles, because we're about to enter the high-stakes world of Hollywood. You know Legendary Entertainment, right? The studio behind blockbuster hits like The Dark Knight, Jurassic World, and Godzilla vs. Kong? Yeah, those legends. Well, guess what? They're owned by Wanda Group. Yep, the same folks who own your favorite and probably most expensive movie theater chain. Now, I know what you're thinking. Are they trying to create a global entertainment monopoly? Maybe, maybe not. But one thing's for sure, this acquisition has meant bigger budgets, more ambitious projects, and a whole lot more Godzilla. And hey, who knows? Maybe this will lead to more diverse stories and perspectives on the big screen. Just picture it, Godzilla, but instead of destroying Tokyo, he's learning Mandarin and doing a cross-cultural exchange program. Okay, maybe not that diverse, but you get the point. Okay, let's be fancy for a minute. We're talking luxury hotels, the kind with those tiny soaps and robes you accidentally pack in your suitcase. And at the top of that luxurious pyramid sits the Waldorf Astoria, a name totally synonymous with opulence and 5-star service. But here's a plot twist. This iconic New York City landmark is owned by Anbang Insurance Group, a Chinese company. I know, it sounds like the beginning of a spy thriller, but bear with me. This acquisition brought with it a wave of renovations and upgrades, making the Waldorf even more glamorous. Think marble, chandeliers, the works. So the next time you find yourself sipping a $20 martini in the lobby, remember, you're experiencing Chinese hospitality at its finest. Just don't be surprised if the minibar is stocked with Tsingtao beer and fortune cookies alongside the usual suspects. So, next time you grab a snack, watch a movie, or check into a fancy hotel, remember, global ownership is everywhere. And honestly, it's not all bad. It's about embracing the interconnectedness of our world, one bite of Chinese-owned American bacon at a time. And speaking of ownership, let's talk about building a future where we all have a piece of the pie. That's why I want to give a shout out to Ancestry Lands. They're all about promoting generational wealth through land ownership and financial awareness, empowering people like you and me to own a piece of the future too. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more eye-opening and sometimes hilarious insights. We'll be back next time with more deep dives into the surprising connection shaping our world. Until then, stay curious, my friends.